Hello, I'm Montefario Cristo, and you're listening to NPC, Northbeach Police Confidential. The following is aggressively edited to make us sound smarter. Previously on the gavel, a fairy came riding into town on a bee and got a tour, a show, a warning, a deck of cards, and an offer. And now, court prepares to convene. But first, a word on our players' love of the craft on Northbeach Police Confidential.
After hours kind of deal.
Okay. So what?
Confidential.
So we were saying that Blick and Eurus are kind of fighting over the trophy for the thirsty player. They've both put in the hours, but
I say it's a little one-sided.
But even Rexus gave us a speech on STDs last week, which stayed in the episode.
Yeah, plus, I mean, if we're being honest, I mean, other than Eurus living forever, he probably has the most sexual partners ahead in his lifespan out of everyone in the group. Just because he lives the longest.
Due to longevity.
Exactly.
So my thoughts were, as Aaron was talking about Eurus and kind of how she was, I thought of Lucy Liu in the first remakes of Charlie's Angels, and how people were trying to talk to her and she'd just go, no. Anytime anybody tried to, any male tried to talk to her, it was just, she'd just look him right in the eye and go, no, and just shut him down real quick. And I don't know.
I actually do I started writing a document on the canon for Succubus, and that is something that I actively have in motion. Let me find it, because it would probably be something that you guys would know about her, since she is a succubus. While I find that, Jay, why don't you do your entry, like, last week on whatever y'all need to do?
I was actually going to cut that together from clips from the previous one and a theme song and everything. But to bring I guess...
something just for us. It doesn't have to be the final thing.
Just for you guys, though, and I'm sure you just listened to the episode, but previously we had a newcomer to town, and she is apiarist, and her bee is actually bigger than a basketball. It's as big as a human. I looked it up.
Is it bigger than Redbox?
It's a medium creature. Look out. 5 foot long.
Medium creature.
Yeah, 5 foot.
Jesus.
Which means it's bigger than I am.
Yeah, so...
Mind you.
Does it walk around?
We were talking about whether or not you'd be able to fly across the ocean on that. I'm not so sure anymore. You might be able to, and...
Quite possibly.
The question is there a hive of these things? And
oh my god.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that.
Well, because it scares me, and...
Don't worry, it's Ballistria.
You have to include your fears in the D&D game, don't you?
Yes. In Ballistria, where even the trees are trying to kill you.
Right. Wait, we were supposed to tell you our fears? Wait, mine's my mother. That was easy. I didn't need to tell you that.
My games are a lot of, usually funny until they suddenly aren't. It's like...
Yeah.
So I was, thinking that you can probably... I was looking at the rules for druids. We have a couple of things to talk about. One, we keep talking about getting you a better weapon, and there's no druid restriction on using any of the weapons in Northbeach, but druids don't start out with that proficiency. So you may be using a lot of spells, and that would leave you to summon bees. There are no rules for summoning bees. So I will say that you can blow off your Summon Nature's Ally Spontaneous to summon insect swarms of, carpenter bees or something.
Yeah.
And ones that won't die on... It also says specifically that your bee will not die on stinging somebody. But I was going to goad you...
Yeah, that was my question, because, I was, thinking about it, because I was like, bumblebees die when they sting someone. Do I, want to, have this, aspect of... I don't want my bee to get into fights, because...
So...
What would happen is it would get unsummoned every time.
Okay.
I thought of doing that to you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Alex.
The reason that bees actually die is because human skin is too grippy for their things, and then when they pull out, it pulls their stinger out of their body.
Yeah.
Right. So what we could do is say, okay, so if she's going to have Summon Nature's...
We'll just tape her ass in.
Right. Oh, God.
It's a really elaborate butt plug. Just go with it.
Oh, my God. Oh, no. Here we go again.
So last time on Northbeach.
Right? So my idea, because I've been working on stupid homebrew rules all week.
Oh, now infect us with your. Okay, fine.
Great.
So stupid homebrew rule. If she can blow fucking summon nature's ally at will, without a restriction on it, then perhaps there's like, oh well, it can only last like 5 attack rounds or something. Like once it makes 5 attacks, it's like it's unsummoned, and she has to summon a new one.
The problem is summon nature's ally can't summon bees because they're vermin.
Oh.
So I'm kind of swapping the rules a little bit to say you can summon swarms of bees.
He's not a vermin.
Classified as vermin, yes.
Whatever.
Sorry, but
Yeah, they are.
It's a beloved friend.
they have 0 intelligence. So I'm going to say you can summon swarms or you can summon giant bees, but you cannot summon anything else. You cannot summon tigers. You cannot summon wolves.
Lions and
You
tigers.
can
My
summon
Swarm
my
of
intent
giant
was
bees.
only to ever do insects.
Okay.
What about
Like for RP reasons.
the character from The Fly? Can I summon the guy from The Fly?
you? Probably.
No, her.
Oh. Not flies, but and so
No, Grundlefly.
and you might, since your name is Bombini, I did a little research that speaks of the
It's a
bumblebee
tree.
genus.
Yes.
Speaks of the
Actually
bumblebee
got it.
genus, and bumblebees form, but they don't die when they sting things, and they're kind of bigger and more buff. So you can have.
Yeah, you should probably acknowledge that you called her by the wrong name the whole last episode.
Oh, I will. We're recording now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I pronounced her name correctly a grand total of 1 time. Saying it back to her when she said it to me, did not say it correctly again throughout the episode. And so this time I would like to kind of acknowledge the slushy logic that goes into this game.
Oh, J-Logic.
Yeah, I have a lot of resources to work with. I know exactly what would happen where, but I don't write it in like Caleb Stokes wrote a binder about the thickness of a dictionary when he did No Evil Eclipse Face campaign, and he slammed it on the desk at the end. And it's these people write every possible avenue that the players could take, stats for it, what could possibly happen. But
Have you printed the manual for this game? Because it's sizable on physical paper form that you could thwap someone with it and it would make an impression.
Well, I do have a bunch of tabs open every time we play, but I
Yeah.
have not written a binder the size of a flight manual because I know that no battle plan survives contact with the enemy, and I'm ready for you guys to do awful PC things, like,
And terribly un-PC things.
terribly un-PC things, inappropriate, like, you should have seen my Spycraft players. I tried to make sure
Non-PC
not...
things.
Yeah.
NPC things.
Speaking,
Yeah.
last time on NPC, the gavel.
But what I was going to finish saying is we're talking about action dice. Here's what I'll do. There was a rule I liked in Spycraft called, what do you want, a cookie? So if you go to me, Jay,
Yes.
it is not physically possible for him to be on the boat because you said he is in Greenbelt and cannot be moved. And I'll be like,
What do you want, a cookie?
and I'll give you a dice and then we go on. Like, if you catch me in a loophole,
Mhm.
you can have a bribe.
Sweet.
But
I'm totally cool with this.
if it doesn't interrupt play and it's funny, I'll leave it in. But the other thing we were going to talk about is what happened last time. Oh, we had a newcomer. She went in through Greenbelt. They stopped a little fiasco at the Beer and Loathing, got pulled over on the way down the hill. Oh, and learned what a hex station is. And then made it down to the boat. And the judge, who was not here yet, made it there, and the awesome music played. And now we're going to introduce her a little. I wanted to do something to highlight what makes our team interesting, our group, but I propose that we all talk about where we're playing from, because that's one of the most interesting things about what we do now is play without a table, and that has some advantages, but a couple of people objected to saying where they are. So I will say that we have people from all around, and I've played with people as far as away as Australia and the UK, Canada, both coasts of the US. I've played with my brother while he was in another state. We've had pretty much everything, and that's the best part. It's also the worst part, because you can run into some real a-holes.
I would like to point out, now I will respect people's desire not to want to be identified or located, but I do happen to know vaguely where everybody kind of is, and I find it rather amusing that we are all, 2 hours, 3 hours away from each other at any given time?
That's true. We're kind of localized, so what I thought might be better...
I just find that kind of amusing.
Why aren't you working?
Yes.
So anyway...
But Jay, that doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. I wanted to do,
Where's my fucking cookie?
I wanted... fuck you. I wanted to get I wanted to get a sponsor from like Keystone or Cyclone and have D&D in a moving RV on the road and called D&D at 60 miles
I
an
would
hour.
puke so bad.
Aw.
Like a tour bus?
Yeah, like that.
See,
No,
here's
like
the
D&D on the
wonderful thing
Absolutely
about
not.
those RVs and tour buses is they have a bathroom,
Yes.
so you can just role play from the loo.
And funny fact, Maryland is a ride-in state, meaning like you can ride in the back while the vehicle's moving.
That
So-
I would never do that
You
ever.
never do it?
No, not the way people in Maryland drive. Are you high?
Yes. So anyway,
Anyway, start the
Talking
game.
Aren't
currently
you?
or generally?
are you not?
No,
What
because if I'm high, you get out of control. I have to time keep
Anyway.
and make sure we have a 3-arc structure, and oh my god.
That stays in. All this stays in.
3-arc structure: foreplay, sex, cigarette.
What I wanted to go on to say is like, let's just quickly introduce ourselves in such a way as to say like what makes us interesting as a group, and just anything you can think of. No wrong answers. So Aaron, tell us what kind of player you are. And
I am a very role-playing oriented player. I really tend not to like combat too much, which is ridiculous because when I played in college, I was a absolute stat whore. Like, I loved to find the best thing I could min-max. I was always trying to play like crazy characters, but now I'm like,
Guilty.
I just want to roleplay, and if there's too much combat in this game, I'm quitting. That's my stick.
okay, good.
That's why I play a pacifist, because he can't make me go into combat.
Can I tell them how we know each other? You want to tell them how we know each other?
Oh, that would be funny. Hi, my name is Aaron, and I play D&D with my ex-boyfriend and his ex-girlfriend.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Screw it, Mary. Why don't you tell us about
I'll
who you
screw
are?
Mary, that's fine, but her
Okay.
husband would have to consent. I mean, I know she would, so.
You know, there are supposedly X-rated D&D podcasts, and I'm afraid to listen to any. but
Yeah.
we can,
Let's
that
not.
means that
Should not
field's
hurt.
already been plowed. So
Hurt is
since
bad.
we're all adults here and probably all drinking, let's just go. The door is open. I just want to remind you that door is open. So Mary with the bee
Wait,
underwear,
drinking is an option?
isn't it? Who's going to stop you?
I'll be right back.
I thought we were
You
grown-ups.
just need to stay coherent.
I need to just be able to finish the podcast.
So
Yeah,
we
we're
are
good.
we are now 15 minutes in, have done nothing.
Oh, we've
I
done
am-
a lot actually.
I'm
We've got
We've
trying.
left a lot.
we've got a lot of. We've introduced one person. Shut up,
Good job, Jay.
Mary. Tell us about your underwear.
Not the bee underwear this time. Sorry.
Oh, then skip it.
I totally blanked when I was getting dressed this morning. Do you want like full intro? Do you just want like?
Tell us what makes you interesting and why we're lucky to have you. Or I swear to God, I'll tell them.
I'm not really that interesting now. Like as far as how I play games like D&D, I'm kind of well-rounded. I like a little bit of a mix of everything. But I really appreciate the RP side of things, and I try to have kind of like little unique, weird things about my characters. In real life, I am a food scientist, so, you know, having a character that is based around things like agriculture and honey and stuff is cool to me because I can sprinkle in a little bit of things that I know from my own personal experiences. So.
That's great. Okay, so we have a foodie in here, and then we have Walter. And Walter, I wish you could see, has a beautiful head of hair. That man is he is a gorgeous
He
man.
does.
He's a gorgeous man.
He has gorgeous head
It
hair.
is an illusion.
He is a gorgeous
Oh,
man.
hi.
Walter,
I'd like to
Walter,
make a wisdom check, please.
Let's see.
you fail. Walter, you were great last episode. Tell us about yourself and
Hi, I'm Walter, sometimes known as Walter the Southern Gentleman. I used to call into a podcast called Tech Foolery. So if any of my tech fools are checking this out, a possum in your honor.
That's cool.
And
I like it.
let's see. And I also used to be on a book reading podcast called The Dewey Decibel System, which then
I love that.
devolved because the guy who was putting our
Cease and desist.
episodes together got married and had a baby and moved cross country, and all of a sudden we couldn't read books anymore and talk about them on the internet.
Lame.
I've played D&D for close to 40 years.
Old.
Jesus Christ, I'm old.
Old. I keep Walter around because then I'm not the oldest person in the group. Well, I'm not the oldest person in this group. I'm really not the oldest person. Yes. Anyway.
You're not that old, Aaron. Jesus.
Oh man.
Aaron, I think you're my daughter's age. That's the scary thing.
How old do you think I am?
I don't know, 34, 35?
Okay, you're not far off. 36.
Okay, yeah. My daughter will be 35 in November. So
I didn't
yeah.
realize your daughter was that old. Like, I knew that I thought she was like in her like late 20s. So I was like,
She definitely looks like she's only in her 20s, yeah.
okay. I was like, shit, you think I'm your daughter's age? Yes. I'll take it.
Walter is one of only 3 players on this team who was part of our first NPC campaign, which never aired. It was called Reveres.
And he's the only player you haven't met.
He's the only.
In real life, yeah.
No, I'm saying Walter is one of them. There are 3. Aaron is one, and we'll get to. Technically, Rexus is last on the list, but we're going to move to a player who has taken the floor in this game, and he'd like to introduce himself. You could do the whole spiel, or just tell us why you're interesting.
Well, my name's Alex. Met Jay through karaoke in New Jersey.
Yep.
It was the weirdest thing. It was the weirdest thing.
Totally true.
'Cause
Yep.
He never actually sang, but he was always there.
I sang.
Good,
I sing.
Oh, that's right. That's
Wait a
right. Constantinople.
Yeah.
Occasionally. Anyway, so met him through karaoke. We kind of reconnected over Facebook, and he told me about this Pathfinder campaign. So I figured I would jump in because he had an open spot. I thought it was great. I've been playing D&D and tabletop board games for 10, 15 years now, just kind of doing all kinds of stuff. Recently took to Roll20 over the last 6-8 months since the COVID explosion, and being unemployed gives you a lot of free time. I have since realized that so many people are so worried, so many people on game platforms like Roll20 and Let's Roll and stuff like that are very combat focused, and they are trying to min-max all their characters. I personally am much like Aaron in that I very much prefer the creative writing aspect or the creative solutions aspect of it. I like the storytelling. I like creating characters. I've got a game session specifically for me to build characters, and I've got probably 24 character concepts that I can use at any given time. I am artist, singer, self-starter, and yeah, that's kind of everything about me, at least that I care to share.
That's
Sexy
fine.
goblin beast.
Beast.
Yes, he is a sexy beast.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to correct him on one thing because the truth is so much more adorable. He actually joined because I posted some random thing of like, we're playing D&D, why aren't you? And he posted, this is relevant to my interests. And I'm like, really? Really? And now here he is.
And now here I am.
Captain of the Love Boat.
The Love Boat.
Oh, Lord.
Next episode, we're going to have Mary tell the story of how she got conned into joining the campaign.
Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about how Mary has kind of played with us before because Aaron wanted to have a video cast about video games, and she responded and we played We Need to Go Deeper, which was super cool, and we got to do it again because it's been updated.
Oh boy.
It was so fun.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, who else needs to do intros?
Present tonight, but not playing, is Kiva and our friend from out of town, Woo.
Yes.
They're going to be adding to the laugh track here because the best part was the jokes. But Woo and Kiva and myself and Rexus are all Scadians, if any of you know what that means, and we're here.
We're here, we're queer, get over it.
Well, that part of that is that
Okay.
they're cleaning up the SCA of like they.
Oh my god, thank god.
Yeah, they got rid of a kingdom patch that was supposed to represent the stars and bars. They told people you cannot act like a bigot anymore, and they're like, "Oh, you're destroying the SCA," and wah wah.
Only for you.
Only for you. They're like, if you don't stop, we'll run away.
Don't
Okay.
let the door hit ya.
Bye,
Or the
Felicia.
good Lord split ya.
Precisely. That's in the house tonight. Kiva was playing and liked to play, but did not want the arduous responsibility of being podcasted. So she's in the peanut gallery tonight. Adding her spirit.
Peanut gallery.
Peanut gallery adding to the spirit of the laugh track. And next on the list is last on the list for now because the judge isn't here yet. God damn it, Rexus. Guess you have all the time you need.
My name's actually Chuck.
Yeah.
And much like many of the players here, I've played D&D for a long time. I actually started role-playing with my brothers when I was 7, I think. They would take me out to West Virginia. We'd meet with one of my cousins there and play D&D until like 4 in the morning, which my mom would probably be mad about because I was supposed to sleep, but that didn't happen.
That's a different definition of West Virginia cousin than I know.
Well, yeah, exactly. We'd go four-wheeling, and then once I was like 14, 15, we'd start drinking, go set up fireworks, play more D&D, try not to blow up half the hillside because we actually had surplus mortars from the National Guard. Not going to say how we got those. Needless to say, we did attract some police attention multiple times. So yeah, that's just part of the role-playing history. Outside of that, I actually work for Motorola Solutions, not Motorola the phone maker anymore.
Oh, wow.
I do, like, RF engineering. That's my job. So I do public safety, two-way communications, private Wi-Fi systems, LTE systems. It's a whole lot of heady shit. It's boring as fuck, and sometimes I hate my life. But it pays well, and they're paying for more and more education. So outside of this, I've been super busy trying to improve myself, which is one of the big philosophies in life. If you're not improving yourself every day, you're getting worse.
Uh-huh.
Guess I could go on.
And one day, you know, we'll have plenty more episodes where you can.
I like to buck the trend.
And I'm Dr.
Exactly.
Never, and my real name is Jason. And the problem is that Jason was an incredibly popular name when I was born, and I took a test for name originality and got an F+. So we don't use Jay or Jason. We use Dr. Never, but I do a lot of weird stuff. I'm a model. I make clothes. I make flowers.
You make people wet.
Here and there.
He does urinate on people occasionally, and there is some spitting.
Oh, wait.
He thinks he's a llama when he's had a little bit too much of the, it's a little bit of a weird
None
thing.
of that's true, but we'll leave.
Okay, well,
Also-
wait, no. I got her back on that one.
I do play bass guitar, so if we need to lay down like a 60s or 70s era like bass
No,
line
no, no,
for
no,
the
no, no.
party.
Ooh, can we
Dude,
start a
give me
ska
that-
band?
give-
I
give
wanna
me
start a
that-
ska
give me that
band.
80s porno track, please.
ska.
Dude, that would
Give
be
me
that would
like
be
70s,
cool.
80s funky bass line for a porno track. That'd be awesome.
I actually know how to
Like-
play funk bass, so let's do it.
Phenomenon is a porno
Well,
track.
I mean, you know, original
Acapella.
content. That would be great. My first experience playing these games was I was 4 or 5, and I was at my grade school, and my friends, they'd started doing this chant, Pendragon, man, Pendragon. We'll play Pendragon, 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 Pendragon. What's Pendragon?
What is Pendragon?
Oh, dude. They say, you got to come to Brian's house. We're going to Brian's house on, was it Wednesday? And we play Pendragon. What is it? And so I go to my friend's house, and his dad is, all right, so Pendragon is a game by Chaosium Incorporated. It's about the knights of King Arthur. And we're all knights of the Round Table going on, quests to find stuff. And we went to war, and it was great. And suddenly I was going Pendragon, man, Pendragon. And this kid's dad was the illustrator of the book.
What?
Yeah, he was the illustrator of Chaosium Incorporated, and Chaosium Incorporated did Call of Cthulhu. But we can't, but we were kids and they wouldn't let us play that.
Oh,
But one time I stayed the night and they had this shelf and it was covered in dice and there was like, oh yeah, this is 100-sided dice. It's like a golf ball. And then he's taking down books, this is Cthulhu and this is like what the Yog Sothoth looks like. We did that. And this is a Battleship game, but it's infinitely better than Battleship. You put these little balsa wood models on the floor, and you go, okay, I bet your Battleship is 3 of my feet away from your cruiser. 1, 2, 3. No, I missed. Well, I bet your boat is 5 of my hands away from my destroyer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I got you. I got you in the powder mag. There's a huge explosion. You know what I mean? And so he had games that had been pitched and never taken, so they didn't exist. And then I moved away, and I went to school, and then I became a homeschooler. And my homeschooling friends are like, yeah, D&D, man, D&D, man. And I'm like, what's D&D? And they're like, oh, you take this 20-sided die. I'm like, oh my God, my people. A disciple appears. And so, the moment I started playing, they're like, oh, you don't have to be a knight of the Round Table. You can pick your race. You can have magic.
Shut up and take my
I
money.
immediately chose the most alien of characters. I played a Thriacrine Psionicist, first character I ever played.
Wow.
Yeah, the Mantis people that can't say the letter P. That's what I chose to be, and it was awesome.
No, but they can say the letter B.
and so I was hooked there, and then I played other stuff. And one thing I got really in love with was Spycraft, and Aaron will tell you I loved it, but it was incredibly heavy on rules. And I got more obsessed with the rules and more obsessed with the rules, and I kind of went through what she went through. I'm like, god damn, I spent so long on these rules. Really, what it rolls down to is roll a d20. Did you roll high? Good. You're safe.
When I proposed this whole game, I was actually pissed that he chose to do this topic initially because I wanted him to run Spycraft because I thought it would be
thought that was
better. But now that he's such a good Spycraft DM. Like, you're just like really into the espionage nerdy shit like that.
So you said let's play D&D, and you were expecting me to go let's play Spycraft, but I didn't. I said let's play Eclipse Phase, and you're like, no, we can't play Eclipse Phase. Okay, here we are.
No one will care about that.
Oh wow, this could have been very different.
Damn.
I guess we have to have another podcast. Who wants to play Spycraft?
No. You do not have
We
to
have
find
to
for
do
that.
this, and
You
then we have to
do
do
not have time for
Lancer,
that.
and then...
Oh yeah, we do have to do Lancer. God damn it. While we're waiting, Blick, do you want to give your report to Rexus? Rexus?
To Rexus? Hell no. Fuck that
He's-
guy.
No?
Yes.
She's gone now.
I got stuck with the job of investigating what happens. So, yeah, even if you say fuck that guy, it's my job.
Kristen, you there?
I'm here, so sorry that took so long. Hello everyone, I'm the Silent Princess. I play Judge Advocate General Saoirse Grimmadine, a human paladin with Section 9. My interest in Pathfinder is really my interest in role-playing games. I've been doing it for the better part of the last 16 years, and I studied theater arts in college. I have a degree in it, so for me this was kind of like, to use an in-game reference, kind of like a duck taking to water. And gaming's been a very important part of my life for a very long time.
So, last time we ended with you coming to the podium and saying, please be seated. The first case, Shinjo Haibatsu versus the state of Northbeach. Thank you for taking my case, Your Honor.
How can we help you, Shinjo-san?
I wish to die in your country, straight away.
You wish to die in our country?
Yes, to spare you the details, my country is about to go to war, and very surely they will call me back there, and we are not, our culture is, not quite caught up to yours, and the clans still have to go to war and kill each other every about a decade.
Dear God.
Yes, the call to go home could go any time, and the unicorn can't stay out of it this time, and I'm not doing it. I would rather die here on your shores than return home and have to fight in the useless. I understand you're well-traveled. Our clan is also well-traveled, and we send a lot of delegates to Northbeach. I think you understand what I'm proposing.
Your Honor, with all due respect, while he is a card-carrying diplomat here, we aren't responsible for his afterlife, I suppose is the proper word for it.
I'm not worried about my soul, not really. The deadlock will keep me out of our hells.
Counselors, do we have any precedents for this?
I mean, there is a precedence for it. We did have another similar situation in which case they were allowed to...
Rokugani ask for this kind of thing pretty regularly.
Yeah, so there is a precedence for this kind of thing, but for a diplomat, to be fair, Your Honor, he's not our problem.
What's to stop him?
Seppuku is not just, opening your guts with a letter opener. It requires permission from the local lord, and the local lord of this area would be the judge, arguably. Considering I have been assigned to this place as a diplomat and have lived here for 15 years, she would be... as a scout cavalry soldier, if I decided I needed to have the dispensation of a soldier to do what I need to do, I would ask someone who understands my culture, as Judge Grimmadine has, and ask for the right to do it my own way without making a mess, but straight away, before that letter gets here. Because if it gets here, then I am acting, and then it gets more sticky.
Your Honor, may I approach the bench?
Of course.
Judge Grimmadine, this, as a matter of foreign politics, may have some negative implications if we allow him to do it in a method or manner in which they are not approving of. I don't know his current status, but it could reflect negatively if we allow him to kill himself in our territory when they were assuming he would be an important part of their war machine. I'm not certain of that, of course, so I would weigh the foreign implications of the matter politically, as well as the matter of we're just allowing the man to kill himself.
Your Honor, this is why I actually chose to get your permission, because permission from you would be nearly impossible for my people to refute. As a soldier, and not just a soldier, a divinely appointed lawgiver at the top of her position in a country they couldn't possibly invade, not when they're busy fighting each other.
In that case, I see no problem with it.
Would you like a second, Shinjo-san?
I would, if possible.
We can certainly appoint you a second.
Your Honor, if I may,
Of course, Professor.
The court recognizes Professor Montefiore Cristo.
if I may, I might have an alternative.
Tell us, Professor.
Right now, he's in a kangaroo rat body, so he hops up across the court and up onto the...
We have an agent of Cryptonym on our cadre. If Shinjo-san really wishes to die in order to satisfy the social contract, he can. He might also continue to live on under Cryptonym as a non-breathing citizen.
Interesting. Shinjo-san, what would you think of that?
That would be acceptable, but I would have to not be beheaded, which means I would have to commit seppuku without a second. I'll do it. I'll stay.
If this case is settled to everybody's satisfaction, bang.
Monty hops off the desk. Shinjo Shaibatsu kind of walks back to the wings. He meets some other Rokugani who seem to be like, oh, good job. You know, they're like discussing that.
There's gonna be an undeaf loophole before the end of the week.
Yup.
Yeah, that's for sure.
The court calls the state versus Clunsby Mulkin. There is a zookeeper cop in the... and the Zooks are like... Their armor's a little more rough and tumble, and they tend to wear outback hats and have like lassos and stuff. And he's a drow elf, and he's got all this, monster catching equipment. They've caught this dwarf. Your Honor, this man was caught trying to purchase a lot of 500 fiendish cockroaches.
Of course, Blick is over here just licking his lips and be like, fiendish cockroaches. Tasty.
Oh, they're good. Spicy.
Bombini's eyes kind of widen when she hears that. She says, Your Honor.
Charybdis comes over, kind of looks at your card, says, Your Honor, the court recognizes Bombini the Druid of Ballistria.
You may approach the bench.
He takes your hand and slithers on his fishtail up to introduce you to the judge.
This accusation is extremely serious, Your Honor. Releasing these cockroaches here would be eco-terrorism. They'd completely destroy the ecosystem.
Would they really? I'm not intimately familiar with the nature of fiendish cockroaches.
Your Honor, if I may, fiendish cockroaches are rather a delicacy in some areas, but they have a profound effect on crops and the agriculture system. They have a tendency to explode and start fires. It's here in Northbeach, I believe there's quite a precedence for not allowing them to exist.
Your Honor, the creature that's being described would be immune to natural fire and have spell resistance.
There's an audible gasp in the gallery.
And they might be able to smite good.
Counselors, do you have anything to add?
He needs to go away.
The defense reference.
I would say burn it with fire, but that doesn't seem to be an option.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you, counselors. Thank you, Miss Bombini. Sir, you are stripped of any positions you once had in Northbeach. I sentence you to 20 years on one of the prison ships, and then you are exiled from Northbeach. Unacceptable. Get out of my city.
Bam! They take him away. Your Honor, the court calls the case of the state of Violetta versus Harker Hathrick.
I'm so... What?
Harker is led in cuffs. He walks to the stand, standing tall.
Grim looks horrified. You don't see her mask break very often. She always looks calm and collected, except now.
You stand accused of the murder of Officer Gillibanter. How do you plead? I plead guilty to the act.
Counselors, if you would proceed.
Your Honor, it was discovered after the fact of the incident in Sable. There appeared to have been some sort of scuffle, a discharge of firearms and syringes in the vicinity of both Harker Hathrick and Damned Agent Gillibanter, who was found deceased, undoubtedly from injuries sustained via syringe at the hands of Dr. Harker Hathrick.
Your Honor, may I?
Of course, Agent Revere, please.
This matter is related to an ongoing investigation that is taking place. Unfortunately, I can't say much more about that, but I would like to request a stay of the proceedings until that investigation is wrapped up.
Permission granted.
Captain, hostiles to port.
What do we got?
You hear quacking.
God.
Oh, God damn it all.
God!
Evacuate the ship. Get the gallery off the ship. We need to.
Crossbows cocking. Who goes to look? Who goes to look?
Oh, Lenny's going to look.
Alexis.
I grab Harker.
Port arms. Get those ballistas ready.
You grab Harker, you move to the side. There's kind of a mob forming kind of a V-shaped shield wall, and they're clacking weapons against the helmets, and they're mostly like spitting and cussing. And somehow the V keeps getting bigger. They're swimming into position and only coming up at certain times to hide their numbers. And
they're in a V, and all you can hear is
clack, clack, clack.
Oh, Blick isn't gonna like this at all.
They're all really dark colored, like cayugas, like dark green.
You said the V filled out and it was dark colors, and for some reason now I'm thinking about pubes.
Oh. Ah.
Thank you for that image.
Oh.
I don't think I needed that image, but thank you nonetheless.
I was closing my eyes for immersion.
They're waterfowl.
It's perfect.
Quack, quack, motherfucker.
They've got like one of those shield walls that's made of a bunch of little round shields. Tallest kind of comes out from the back, no weapons, no shield, paddles to the front to the point, and looks up at the assembly, and he unrolls a scroll and he says,
Judge Grimmadine, your mother is so fat she wears 2 wristwatches because she occupies 2 realms. She did a cartwheel and kicked the sun from the sky. She is so ugly when she walks into a room, all the mice jump upon the chairs.
Grim looks totally amused by this. She just puts her hand against her cheek and goes, "Is that the best you got?"
Is this supposed to...
Oh no, it goes on. You make onions cry. Every mirror you have approached has split.
Well, I can't argue with you on that one.
Do they think misogyny is cute? Like, is that their look?
Possibly.
somebody roll profession check.
Okay.
I'll roll too.
Let's see, what do we got here?
Your mother is so fat it takes 3 covered wagons and an airship just to get on her good side.
Okay, so I rolled a 18.
Grand total?
Yeah, grand total of 18.
16 total?
17 total.
It's gonna be 23.
Yeah, same here.
This is a diversion.
Your mother
Let's go to the other side of the.
so
We'll send a
ugly,
couple
no
people to the other side.
blockface can survive her intercession.
Ambush!
You run to the other side. It's just starting. There's, like, the sun's starting to go down, and you see, like, red and blue lights on the water. And it's a bunch of small boats chasing a much larger boat that they have no hope of keeping up with. You see, like, airboats with police lights on them appear, like, in clouds of silver dust. Since our teleport authority guy's not here, I just have to tell you, those are TPA astral skiffs chasing this fucker.
Okay.
And they have no hope of keeping up with it. And
Does it look like he's trying to ram us?
Oh.
at first it doesn't, and then it is enveloped by a silver cloud and teleports much closer, and it's going insanely fast, and there's no time to do anything. Everybody brace for impact, reflex saves all over the world.
I was just about to roll too.
You guys fell for it for too long. I couldn't give it to you.
Okay, so you said
You fell for it
reflex
for way
save?
too long.
All right, so
Everybody reflex. And
I rolled a natural 20.
Jesus Christ, I
Judge
rolled
rolled a
1.
Plus 8 is
I'm
a 28.
flying.
I've got a 5 in total.
everyone on the port side who failed their save gets catapulted into the water, into the waiting blades of the Durals, except the judge, who is wearing adamantine and sinks like a
Oh
stone.
boy.
Oh my god.
We'll get back to you. Everybody, including the judge, roll initiative. Everybody who rolled below on the port side is in the water. Everyone who rolled below in the middle is just down. Everyone who failed on the starboard side takes 2d6 damage as you get caught in the crash. Now, Blick rolled so high he can rescue somebody. I imagine he's naturally going to rescue you because you rolled a 1. Native flyers, give yourself a +4.
Any idea what
So-
wings do to your swimming ability?
Negative?
No, I don't think they do anything.
Not necessarily. I mean, you fold them against your back, worst case scenario.
In my attempt to rescue somebody or grab somebody as they're about to go over, I rolled an 11 with a -1 modifier for strength.
I was just going to give it to you because you rolled a natural 20. You're both prone on the deck. Like, you saved someone bigger than you, so you had to leap tackle him down.
I'm good with that.
Blick, on your turn, you're going to have to either take command of your ship or start fighting as a shooter. You can take command of the army instead. You can take command of the ship, or you can just fight. Sorsha, I need you to roll 2, but everyone go ahead and roll your initiative. That's usually just your dexterity. You only get an initiative bonus in Spycraft.
I rolled. I got a 18 in total.
16, 18 is 21. All right.
That is an 11 for 15 in initiative.
When you were saying the +4 for flying, did you mean for the save or for the
save.
Okay. Then for the initiative, I got 16.
Is that a grand total? Okay, a lot of 16.
Sorry. Yes.
There's a surprise round involved because of the crash. People in black sleek armor pop up from this black sleek boat and hose the deck with repeated gunfire.
Oh.
People start to drop. You guys get strafed and you're being boarded. The Durals are starting to jump on board. It's a field day. You guys fell for it so bad. The only one who's like really on the ball right now is Felky, and because he critted and he just saved Lenny's life. There are shots going off. Cops are like dying and they're going for their crossbows and loading. They're shooting back. You're getting, boarders from the boat and boarders from the water. You're getting melee attacks and the judge has gone over the side. The highest roll of initiative is actually the enemy.
Yes.
Whatever god you pray to, this is the time.
Where were we giving you our initiatives at?
You're just reporting them in chat. Like, it seems like everyone's got mostly like 16-ish and one person got above.
Sandcaster, chat, or...
I don't, either one, just tell me what we get. Yeah. They hose a crowd, they try to include Charybdis in a strafe, and he catches the bullet, surprises anyone. The 2 police go down, and Shinjo Haibatsu is killed.
Of course.
Next in the line, Rex is shortly followed by the judge.
I'm going to cast a spell and make an attack, since that's the magus thing to do. I'll take aim at one of the... Is there any of them that look special compared to the rest?
Not that you can see from there, but if you boarded the ship, you might be able to see something like that. These guys are elites themselves, so if you're looking for someone to shoot, it's the ones with guns that would be a good choice.
When you say guns, are you talking like actual guns, like the bad kind of guns that people aren't allowed to have?
Machine guns. Machine guns that shouldn't exist.
At this rate, it would be semi-autos, right? Not quite
no,
autos.
They're hosing the deck. Oh yeah.
Impressive. Firearms.
10 rounds per attack.
Jeez. About how far away would you say they are?
They have, in naval terms, grappled your boat and are boarding it. They're not far. They're within, I like to call it sneeze distance because they figure out a sneeze has a range of 25 feet. So a sneeze distance is about 30 feet. Ish. I know. So you cast what, Rexus?
My first attack, which is my longbow, a 20 to hit.
That is a hit. Full damage.
9 points of damage.
Okay. Not a great hit.
And as it hits him, a thundercloud explodes out.
Oh.
It's got a 5-foot diameter, does 3d6 damage to each creature caught in it.
Oh.
Unless they make a reflex save, DC 60.
They pass the reflex save and take 3 damage.
Yeah, I think they can take half damage.
Yeah.
So I'll roll that up real quick.
Oh, well. Okay.
3d6.
I rolled it. It's fine.
Oh, you got it. Never mind.
I rolled a 7. They take half rounded down. So you kick this off. The next judge, as you go under into the deep, the last thing you think is, my kids are on that boat. And then you get that video game moment of someone's trying to revive me. And you wake up and someone's doing chest compressions. You're on the street. The street lights are blue. You realize you just woke up in Ocean City and the police saw you and cast water breathing on you. And you're like, they're pushing out the bad water and in the good water. Now, you didn't think that we didn't keep guards on the ocean floor, did you? We can't leave that unguarded. So you wake up and they're like, and someone goes, "Don't try to move. You'll almost drown."
Boat.
That
under attack.
Okay.
My kids are up there.
They take your repeating crossbow and hand you a repeating spear gun.
Good.
It might not be easy. And they point up and the salt cops are having a fight with the Durals. They're trying to shoot the line. They keep popping up behind them, but the Durals throw javelins and stuff. They're having a huge problem with the Durals right now. There's blood in the water. People are dying. They start pulling you up to the surface. Do you want to go up to the surface on the port side or the starboard side? The starboard side is where the boat crashed.
Ooh,
Or sell me something else.
Well, let's see. I can't see what's on the starboard side. All I can see is what's on the port side, and that is...
You can see the underside of the boat that hit you.
Okay.
And it's it's an outrigger too. It's like a super modernized outrigger.
All right, here's a question for you. Can I hear the gunshots from down here?
No, you can't hear the gunshots. Okay. But you know there was a crash.
Yeah.
And you've probably been boarded. You see that there's another ship basically humping the Uraskabai.
All right. Well, the Durhal are a problem, but right now I think it's better to try to get around the starboard side and see if I can come up behind the enemy and surprise them.
Are you sure they insulted your mom?
Kind of the least of my problems right now.
If you flanked them, you could do a lot of damage, especially because you have people escorting you, because you have that aura.
That's the idea.
All right, so you're going to flank the Durals?
I thought I was going to try to go around the starboard side.
Oh, okay. Yes, okay. You pop up on the starboard side. It's a fiasco. The ship that charged you rode up on the Uraskabai. The salt vessels, only the smallest ones could keep up, and they tried to launch warning flares, and it didn't work, and one of them crashed into the boat, and the other one had to pull off. And they're skipping, trying to get back. One of the Teleport Authority Astral skiffs is listing with a big hole in it. There's another one that's also crashed into the Uraskabai, and there's one that's trading fire with this speedboat. It's about the size of the Uraskabai, but it looks a little more advanced. Like, it was fast. It hit you like a ton of bricks. And it's not showing that much damage.
Yeah, wait till I get on there with my goddess, then we'll get damage.
Okay, you pop on there, and you see there's a fight going on upstairs, but there's like a swim platform you can climb down here, so you and the Salt Police kind of... Salt also is the foot patrol of Ocean City, by the way. They're the swimmer cops, and so they're with you. There's 4, because your aura covers 4. You climb up on there. Next in line, Rexus, you've already gone. Who's closest after 20?
I'm 16.
Who's above 16? Nobody? Eurus, you kind of come to your senses on all 4s. Parker is he's like falling onto a table. What do you do?
Is Harker the highest value target in the... I mean, obviously, Grimmadine is not on board. She would have probably been the highest political value target.
Okay.
Who else?
Besides her and Harker, it would be you and...
Nobody's going to try and capture me.
And Ambassador High Han. And the judge's kids. Parker actually asked that his kids not be made to suffer seeing him on trial. So they're not here.
Yeah, I know.
Of course Haihan's here.
Haihan is still in the infirmary.
Wonderful.
Blick actually questioned her and learned a lot.
So...
What do you do? It's chaos. Like, their crew is fighting our crew, and they've got guys with machine guns up there. There are rifles going off, crossbows, bows going off, projectiles trading, and there you are refusing to fight.
Yup. I'm debating... because I'm not that worried about Harker because of where he is. He's more likely to get killed than skip out at this point in time. And there's everybody around who can take accountability of him. So my thought is, as a non-combatant, my 2 options are protect the ambassador or protect the kids. And I'm not sure which I would evaluate at high.
Well, they haven't managed to get below decks yet, that you can tell. So you can do something. You can cast a spell to change the tide. You can heal. Oh, I was gonna say that Bombini, your giant bee is wounded, but not terribly. He takes like 3 damage. So you can heal the bee. You can heal you can heal people. You can start rescuing the dying, and I'll give you that. Or you can start like making it harder to shoot. Like you can smoke screen this. You can give the police cover, or you can go after the judge.
I would wager that neither the judge's kids nor the ambassador is within 30 feet of me.
I'll say no, but you could also engage the Durals and drive them off.
I'm gonna hold my action for a second. We'll move on to the next participant while I think.
Bombini, I think you're next. Suddenly it's chaos. I just wanted a job, and now it's a shootout. You've been thrown to the deck.
Worst episode of Clerks ever.
Yeah, you've been thrown to the deck. Your bee takes a hit, like from a bullet.
So
I didn't sign up for this crap.
So, question, because I have a feat that means I can use handle animal if I'm adjacent to my bee to be able to negate a hit on him.
Oh, yeah, I'll give you that. He's not wounded.
My bee's my bro. We're together through thick and thin.
It's probably female if it has a stinger, but
fair.
What do I know?
My bra instead of my bro, my bra.
The bees are all male. It's only the queen bees that are female, and princess bees. It's a thought.
I'm thinking of ants.
No, the bees are all female, except for the drones, which are male.
I was going to point that out. Thank you, Lane.
Thank you for correcting me.
Walter, whatever.
Anyhow,
it's fine.
So you can save your bee. So you have a piddly little sling and no enchanted stones. The only thing you can really think to do to sway this is start summoning bees.
Yep.
So
And have them attack the everything, not us.
I'm not even gonna make you roll. I just like if you blow off a spell every round, you're just gonna cause this expanding sphere of bees to drive people off the deck.
Yep.
So
And that's what I'm gonna do. Exactly.
okay, so you start it's the only thing I can do. They're shooting everybody. Come on, and you start summoning off the nature plane. And you start summoning from the life tree. And I'll say you summon a giant-sized bee and an insect swarm. So now you have 2 medium-sized bees and an insect swarm. The insect swarm bees, you're gonna have to build them to drive people off the deck. Next is Brother Lenny. What was your initiative, Blick?
11 for 15.
All right, so you and Lenny are like, let's see you guys go together.
Okay, that's very kind of you. I had a crap roll.
You're all, you're kind of lying in a heap after this crash, and you look up and you see Kiva's leg sticking out of the crash.
Oh.
She's gone. Both of you make a will save.
Both of us?
Both of you.
15 plus 5 is 20.
That's 10 plus 3 for 13.
You're terribly shook by what happened, and they're killing more members of your crew are falling down. There's a moment of blurry screen, heartbeat, breathing, and you only get a half action this round.
I'm gonna use my action really quick.
Okay?
Kristen, look at your phone really quick.
Okay, gotta run upstairs to get it. 1 second.
Crap.
Whoops, it's gonna take me a second to send the message anyway.
While they're doing that, Lenny, what do you do?
I'm getting up. I am.
Half action?
Yeah. So I only get 1 attack this round then, instead of 2. And I'm going to use a key point to speed my action up. So would that give me my other action back?
I'll say you can do that. That's fine. But the thing is, you're gonna have to get to somebody to attack them. There are people boarding the boat, and that's where, like, on a tactical level, one army is attacking another.
Mm-hmm.
The guys with machine guns are within a wire foo of you.
Okay.
To get to one of them, I won't make you make a jump check or anything. You could probably just crouching tiger your way up there.
Okay.
Challenge them, and I'll give you 1 attack to do that. But you can't get them all. You got to get up there.
Alright, I've decided on my action.
What's your action?
Sorsha is a government official who is very high importance, very likely to have threats on her life. She is also a very diligent mother whose children are on board. I would state that it is infeasible to assume that she does not have a way to quickly get between the judge bench and her quarters, and that furthermore, she would have told the most likely person to hunt down her kids in an emergency, i.e. the woman of the team and the person who wouldn't be fighting to begin with, how that mechanism, most likely a portal, works so she could get there in the event of an emergency.
But she's not at the stand, and she wasn't at the stand with the catastrophe.
That doesn't
I'll
matter.
give you the protocol. You can go downstairs.
It exists. I just am going to use that method to quickly get down to her quarters, where I will put up a lesser guardian monument with her kids.
I will say that Blick has been averse to teleportation devices being on his ship,
Without consent.
but you getting,
Where's Blick while I'm doing this?
but you are able to get.
I am prone on the deck right now.
If you want to get below decks, you can.
Fair enough.
All right.
I get below decks. I use a guardian monument lesser. An unattended or non-magical object emanates a shimmering aura that protects humans in the area. They gain DR2 versus magic while in the area. If it's touched or moved, the effect is suppressed but resumes if it's put back or when no longer touched.
All right. So, are you going to cast? You're just going to go down and protect the kids? Or are you going to take them above, or are you going to just?
I would probably take them to a designated safe area. I assume there are safe areas for non-combatant civilians if there are civilians on the vessel.
The lifeboats, but the Durals are in the water.
And the brig.
Not a bad
And
idea.
there are suspects in the brig.
Are any of the suspects likely to fuck with the succubus?
That's hard to say. Some have been up and tried, and they're just morons. Some people you haven't gone through. You can. I'm sure you have.
What about the sickbay? The sickbay is generally fairly well.
Ambassador Highhan's in there if you're okay with that.
I mean, yeah, I'm fine with that. It allows me to protect both at the same time, or at least be aware of both at the same time. Which I'll take.
You get to the kids, and they're already like going through their stuff looking for the life jackets. Good kids. You get their life jackets on. You run to the sick bay. Ambassador Highhan is still on her back with a jar of pickled beetles. Just. Oh, hello, children. and they're just staring at this giant spider with 3 of its legs blown off, eating beetles out of a jar.
Gotta love painkillers.
Bandaged or guts pushed in.
Do not tell your mother about this, or we no longer have a cool aunt relationship.
Don't worry, children. I think they're here for me. So next, is anyone else in the rotation?
Well, Lenny and I haven't finished our.
Yeah, we've not finished.
You
our
haven't
combat
gone.
yet.
Blick, you go. Okay. You haven't finished.
Yeah,
your
Blick
combat.
goes first because he had a better initiative than I did.
Okay.
You can shoot without standing up, or you can stand up.
So
But you'll get-
when you say a half action, you talk. My sheet here says swift action, standard action, and then other shit.
Standard action. You get a standard action.
One standard
Spycraft. It's full actions, half actions.
Outstanding. So I'm going to shout, Tefnut, Ithria, protect my fucking boat, and I'm going to cast Entangle. And rather than plants, because my favorite terrain is water, the water statues on the boat, I would like them to animate for as much as they can and entangle the intruders on my fucking boat, because fuck
Okay,
these
but while
guys.
you do it, you can be like, dance, puppet, dance.
No, that is totally not within Blick's repertoire. He's a little more concerned with people that he didn't allow on his fucking boat.
Okay,
Trying to get
I'll give you that.
off your ass.
Outstanding.
I'll give you that. Lenny, you land on the deck really close to one of these guys with a very big, unfathomable gun.
So
You've only heard rumors about these things.
everybody within a 40-foot radius spread, so 80 foot.
I'll give you a major impact on the tactical. They lose a bunch of defense.
Okay, so it's a DC 13 reflex save.
Oh, all right.
I don't know if that matters. That's so left to you.
I'll just roll against it. Ooh, yeah, they fail it. Yeah, they grab one person. They grab 2 people at a time and then freeze again.
Okay. That'll end my turn.
I'm going to attack this giant guy with some sort of weapon.
You're gonna use a weapon.
He's standing in front of me.
Oh yeah, just
He's got a weapon. I'm going to open hand attack him.
now that you're in close combat, he's gonna have some trouble because
Yeah, it's too big. It's a long rifle. He can't.
yeah, he might have point blank shot, but it's gonna be a problem still.
Right in the ass.
And my roll was a 17
Total?
17.
Is there any way you can bump that up?
I can use a key point.
If you blow off a key, I'll give you the hit.
Okay, yeah, I'm blowing off a key.
Roll damage.
And
Does anyone have turn boat?
Is that an actual thing?
Maybe it's turn aquatic
9
vehicle?
points of damage.
He's.
Jay, did you get that?
I got it. He's not looking happy, but you haven't killed him yet. It does, he's wearing.
Oh, I didn't figure I'd kill
Right.
him.
It's a good hit. They get to go. Oh, guns go off. Lenny, the guy in front of you, turns on you, points his gun at you, and it explodes.
Ah,
Whoops. Unreliable shit. You should have used a crossbow. Armies. Damn, alright. For a moment, it's a fucking slaughter. The cops, angry, are just shooting off repeating crossbows. You've got, monks in there mixing it up. Charybdis is mad. He's kind of fighting his way to half-rate. He's, bum rushing people off the side. Your guy in front of you, there's a spark and then a blast and his gun stops working. He starts going for a short sword. Drawing a weapon provokes an attack of opportunity. Go ahead and take it.
is that for me?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll give you that. You punch him in the face really hard. Roll your damage. Just give him a good kick.
6 points of damage.
Oh, okay. He's not dead. Get back to you.
Should I have gone for subdual damage?
No, there's no reason. You can if you want to. If you want to tell me you're doing non-lethals on this guy because you want to capture him alive, that's fine. Pulls a weapon. You smack him good. They shoot. Judge, the salt police lift you onto the swim platform, and you start to do the Navy SEAL clearing of the boat. And on board the boat, you see a lot of corpses. You see dead police. You find a corpse of Charybdis. You find dead people you recognize. On one deck, you find 3 children executed. These are your children. They are dead. You see Felky's corpse. He's dead. Hathrick's dead. Brother Lenny's been shot to pieces, and some of the crossbow bolts are in his hands, like he caught them till the end. And as you make your way towards the top, you hear the firefighting. By the time you get to the top, there's this red mist that's enveloped you. What you've seen is wrong. What you've seen can't exist. It can't be real. And the people that did this, they're on the deck and they're wearing black armor and they have these terrible guns. And I'll give you a free attack with this unit. Like, the cops with you are so horrified, the first thing they do on the deck is shoot.
Stop it, and wham!
Kill them. Roll yourself an attack. I'll roll some extra attacks.
Not phenomenal. I rolled an 11. That's a 15 in total.
It's bad enough that you've taken the deck and are flanking them. They all have to run for different cover. You see Lenny, Lenny's up there. He's got one of these guys cornered and his gun blew up and he's beating the hell out of him. Lenny, you see a woman with, like, come up. She's utterly possessed and she just starts shooting. After you is Rexus. Rexus, you're still on the deck. You saw them shoot. They shot Tefnut. They shot her to pieces. And for a moment, she's like, you mortal. Oh, God, that hurts. And then she disintegrated. And it seemed to happen when a bullet went through this dead center of her headdress.
Well, she's gonna be mad for a while. Well, I'm going to, as my minor action, sustain the thundercloud. So anybody caught in that still has to make a reflex save, DC 16.
Oh yeah.
Or take 3d6 damage. It would be 12.
Roll that damage. Okay, Lenny, your guy is struck by lightning. Goes and he kind of just falls over like he's finished. One of these guys is done, and he drops a short sword, and he's just...
I'm going to shoot off another bow round. That's an 18 to hit.
That's a hit. Roll damage.
10 points of damage. Jeez, max that one.
Felky and Lenny.
Yes.
Felky, you're still on the deck. You're mad. You're cocked and locked and ready to rock.
That's what your date said last night.
All right, you two. Save it when you go ashore.
Okay, so I am going to use...
Your mom.
No, your mom.
Your mom!
Your mom!
Uranus!
I am going to... Shit, I just had it a second ago, too. The fuck was it? Oh.
Okay, like, we have set breaks for when you need to shit.
Right. So I'm going to use one of my specials, Hunting Companions. I spend half a movement action to grant half my favored enemy bonus against a single target. Single target. Fuck, that does not work like I expected it to.
I know what you can do. You can cast that on one of your crew and tell him to go shoot the ballista at the doors.
I thought it was like an aura kind of thing. I grant my favorite enemy bonus to all enemies within 30 feet against all of my favorite enemies. But no, it's just the one. So it doesn't matter.
So yeah, you cast it on one crewman, tell him to get to the ballista and shoot it at either the boat or the Dorals.
Right.
I'll let you do that, but you have to send somebody else to do it.
Right, it only works against one creature. So what I can instead do...
So you can tell him to shoot the leader, or you can...
Okay, so then...
you know what? If you fire a siege engine into a crowd, I'll just give you that.
Well, shit. Okay, I have half a move action, and it doesn't say...
You know what? Screw it. Stop. Go back. Stop. Go back. Roll a profession check to take control of your ship.
You damn right.
As a unit, like you just get back in the captain's chair, like, all right, everybody focus.
Oh, didn't we agree that there was plus? You know what? Fuck it. It doesn't matter because I get a +8 anyway. That's a 16 for 24.
All right. You pull out the yellow man suit. Get your back on trench. We all gone up to the rig. We go down. And everyone stops. He goes, the voice of the captain. So next round, you can command your ship. You can break the grapple and get away. You can turn so your weapons are brought to bear. You can start like trying to run over the Dorals or something, but now you're in control of your ship.
So that consumed one action, right? I have what, 2 more per turn? I'm so unfamiliar with Pathfinder.
That would be, I'll say that was a standard action.
That was a standard action.
You can shoot. You can shoot if you want to, but that's probably all you can do. You can take a pot shot at the people on the deck of the invading ship.
Okay, so
as your crew gets, your crew is responding to what you said. You have a minute. Take a shot.
Okay, can I then command 2 of my crewmen, or potentially 3 of them, to take the 3 ballista on the starboard side of the boat, because that's the one that's being rammed into, right?
Yeah.
I'd like to command my crewmen my Marines, police, coastal cops, whatever, to take all 3 of the ballista on that starboard side and just launch it into the enemy boat.
All right, that'll happen next round.
Can I do that? Okay.
You can do that, but it'll happen next round.
That's fine.
So you gave that order. Okay, next, Lenny.
Okay, so
The guy goes down, he gets electrocuted. There's 3 other gunmen on the boat, and you could leap into the combat on the deck, which is actually going really well for the Northbeach police. Or you could go and fight the Dorals.
who am I closest to?
You're closest to the gunman.
I'm gonna continue on the gunman.
Okay, I'll just give you your full attack because you're so fast.
Good God.
Is that your total?
It's my frickin' total.
No good.
And no good on that one either.
No good on that. If you spend another key, I'll let the first one hit.
Okay, that would be key number 2. Go ahead.
All right, roll your damage. Damn.
4 points.
You do 4 points of damage, and you feel his damage reduction absorb 2 of that. You're up against professionals, it would seem.
Yep.
Bombini, you're sitting there with your fingers in like arcane steeple position, chanting, "More bees, tree of life, nature, get in here." They start to swarm, and you get the. And the invaders, they're like, this is what we signed up for. They start falling back, and they're going to get another penalty this round because they're being driven off. And I think that's everybody for this round of combat. And Aaron wants us to stop.
That was bloody horrifying. But it was produced by Erin Moriarty for Montresor Media. She's a genius. It was edited by Dr. Never. He's a mad bastard. This episode took 20 straight hours to edit. The soundtrack is basically a love letter from Dr. Never to Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com. You can support us on Montresor Media Patreon, and you can antagonize us on Twitter at any time at We Are NPCs. Join me next time for Season 1, Episode 3 of The Gavel, as the judge and her cadre retake the ship, search through the wreckage and the bodies to pick up the pieces. This is Montefario Cristo, Northbeach Police Confidential. Roleplay with 80% more explosions. Now that's all this then. Stupid audio never works. That's better. Bye then!